You are sitting on the couch trying to hide it. Maybe nothing dramatic happened. Maybe it was just a hard day, the kind that makes your body feel heavier than usual. You do not say anything. You just stare at the floor. And then your dog walks over. It does not understand your job, your bills, or the private disaster inside your head. But somehow it slows down. It looks at your face. Maybe it puts its head on your knee. So the question is not simply, can dogs tell when you are sad? The stranger question is this: what exactly are they reading? People often explain this in the easiest way. Dogs are loyal. Dogs love us. Dogs just know. It sounds beautiful, but science usually begins where beautiful answers become too simple. A dog does not need to understand sadness the way a human does. It only needs to notice that something has changed. And humans are constantly leaking information. When you are sad, your face changes. Your voice becomes lower, softer, or flatter. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing changes. Your movements slow down. Even the chemicals released through your skin and breath can shift. To another human, these clues may feel invisible. To a dog, they are not. Dogs evolved beside us in a world where paying attention to humans was useful. The early dogs near human camps had to read people well enough to avoid danger, find food, and fit into our strange social world. Over thousands of years, dogs became specialists in human signals. This is why dogs are unusually good at watching faces. In experiments, dogs can connect emotional human faces with emotional human voices. A happy face with a happy voice makes sense. An angry face with an angry voice makes sense too. But when the signals do not match, dogs notice. That means they are not reacting to one clue. They are building a small emotional map of the person in front of them. But sadness is different from anger. Anger is loud. Sadness is quiet. It often means withdrawal, weakness, or distress. So if a dog notices sadness, what does it do? This is where things become more interesting. In studies where people pretended to cry, many dogs approached the crying person. Sometimes they approached even when that person was a stranger. They sniffed, nudged, licked, or stayed close. At first, that sounds like empathy, but we have to be careful. A dog approaching a crying human does not prove the dog is thinking, "My human is emotionally suffering and I should comfort them." That may be too human a sentence to put inside a dog's mind. The simpler explanation is emotional contagion. Your distress may trigger discomfort in the dog. The crying sound, the posture, the unusual stillness, all of it signals that something is wrong. The dog feels the emotional temperature in the room change, and it moves toward the source. But here is the strange part. Even if it begins as emotional contagion, the behavior can still become comfort. A dog does not need a human vocabulary for sadness to become part of your emotional life. It only needs to notice your state move closer and change how you feel. Recent research also suggests dogs may behave differently when their owners are sad compared with when they are happy. A happy owner can make a familiar task smoother. A sad owner can make the same situation feel less certain. That tells us something important. Your mood is not just background noise to your dog. It can become part of the dog's decision-making. And then there is smell. Humans underestimate smell because we live in a visual world. Dogs live in a world where scent is information. When humans are stressed, their sweat and breath can carry chemical changes. In experiments, dogs exposed to stress-related human odors behaved more cautiously, as if the scent of human stress made the world feel less predictable. So your dog may not simply see sadness. It may hear it. It may smell it. It may feel it through the rhythm of your behavior. This does not mean dogs are tiny therapists. They cannot separate heartbreak from exhaustion, grief from disappointment, or loneliness from a bad Monday. But maybe that is exactly why their response feels so pure. A human might ask, "What happened?" A human might give advice. A human might misunderstand, compare, judge, or try to fix something too quickly. A dog does something older and simpler. It notices that the group has changed. Someone is quieter than usual. Someone is moving differently. Someone needs closeness. So, can dogs tell when you are sad? Probably yes, but not in the magical way we sometimes imagine. They are not reading your soul. They are reading your body, your voice, your smell, your patterns, and the tiny breaks in your normal behavior. And perhaps that makes it even more remarkable. Dogs do not need to understand sadness as an idea to respond to sadness as a signal. They do not need to know the reason for your pain to know that you are not quite yourself. And in that quiet moment when your dog rests its head beside you, the mystery is not whether it understands everything. The mystery is how little understanding is sometimes needed to make another creature feel less alone.